What's happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? Welcome to a brand new episode of Chris's Custom Collectibles. Now, this is a very quick episode today and also one of the most high-end custom collectibles to date. It's not so much a custom collectible, it's more or less a modification. Now, a gentleman by the name of Scott approached me and said, "Hey man, I have pre-ordered the Prime1 half-scale Ben Affleck Batman statue, exact same one that I have right behind me." The only problem was, and I touched on this in my review of the statue, that the utility belt was really lacking. For a piece that is over $2,000, the utility belt just did not look good. So I modified my belt. It wasn't exactly the best modification, but hell, it's gonna do for the time being. But today's video is how we're gonna modify Scott's belt. So Scott has received his Prime1 statue. He has sent me the utility belt. This is the stock utility belt, and you can see right away, it's just tacky looking. Like, all the pieces are separated way too far. Nothing's aligned with the belt strap itself, especially the buckle hinges. So today's video is a tutorial for anyone that has this statue or something similar, or you can apply these methods for even a life-size utility belt for your cosplay. So as you can see here, all the pieces have been riveted in, but not properly riveted. It's only one side of the rivet, so much so it's the stem that just inserts into each piece. So it's just a matter of pulling those out and removing them from the base strap. We are going to be using a real leather belt strap today, high-end cowhide leather for Scott. I'm going to be repainting these pieces. Mine have not been repainted. I'll eventually get around to it, but I just want to demonstrate how we can bring this up a couple of extra notches and make it look exactly like the screen-used Ben Affleck utility belt. So like I said, first steps first is we've got to remove all these pieces. We're then going to repaint them. We're then going to prep the belt strap. It's a matter of just gluing them down with some Loctite. I'm also going to be reusing the Velcro closure at the back. Always recycle, kids. Like I said, this is more of an express episode of Chris's Custom Collectibles, or Chris's Custom Modifications. Anyway, with that being said, let's get to it. Alright geeks, it's time for some shitty commentary and some good old-fashioned weathering techniques. Now, once all the gold pieces have dried, we're going to go over them with some black shoe polish. This is not watered down. I just pour the excess into a Tupperware cup and we're going to dab it all over the gold areas and remove the excess with some tissue or a paper towel. Now, I repeated this step twice, and then after that, I went back in with a very damp scourer sponge that had been soaked in boiling hot water to just lightly remove any extra dark areas, because we still want that gold to pop and shine through the weathering. Now this is a technique I use for my life-size Batfleck utility belts for cosplay. What I do is I get a safety pin, obviously the pin end, and what I do is I very lightly dab it in the chrome paint from Model Masters and just very lightly go through those scratch areas. Now this is quite time consuming because the paint doesn't always adhere itself to the piece. It takes quite a while because it's such a fine and delicate detail. You do have to go over the area a couple of times before it fills in that void of the scratch. Okay, now whilst I'm waiting for all the pieces to dry, we're going to start to prep the new belt strap. Now I mentioned I am going to be using real leather. We are going all out. Now if you look at Affleck's screen used batsuit, you'll notice that the base strap of the belt does have a leather texture. From my knowledge, it is made of urethane. But this is just going to be a lot more easier and much more of a higher quality. You know, I want something that's really going to make Scott's statue pop. So if we look at the original strap, it's vinyl that's kind of been folded over in two and it's one piece, but we are going to do separate pieces coming from these brackets. And the reason being, if you look on the side here, they're angled in sort of an upward position. So it kind of has that streamlined look going around the suit. So we're going to be attaching either strap on either side of the hinges here. So I've probably measured it up across this way. It's 24.5 centimeters and 4 centimeters this way. So this space here is 4 centimeters and the combined length on either side is 24.5 centimeters. That should be enough for it to exactly wrap around the statue's body and still look flush. Now I'm going to be cutting this out with a razor because it's going to be a lot more neater, and then we can start to finally attach all the brand new customized pieces. Now there's no fancy tricks or anything in terms of adhering all these pieces together, guys. I'm just using the high-end professional Loctite. I do spread it a little bit around with a Q-tip and I leave it just a little bit just to gel, and seriously, as soon as you bond those two pieces together, it's an instant stick. So this is why I was very cautious to line up both ends of the strap, because like I said, we still want that angled up approach, so it's going to sit very flush and organic around the statue. Now I also just got an excess piece of leather and just attached it to the back of the buckle and also adhered it to the side straps. This kind of unifies everything and also stops the back of the buckle from scratching the statue. Even though it shouldn't, it's just a bit of insurance. And we're just going to glue all the pieces back onto the strap like so, just using the exact same Loctite that we use for the buckle. Alright geeks, we're on the home stretch now. I've just very lightly applied some Loctite to both Velcro areas, so it's just going to secure it to the leather, but we're going to reinforce it with some Sikaflex. Now this is the stuff I glue my muscle suits down to and the fabric down to when it comes to cosplays. Now this stuff is quite strong, you know, it does require a 24-hour cure period, but it is totally worth it. So what we're going to be doing is just running it around the edge so it bonds the Velcro and the leather together. Once that's done, I'm going to get some matte black from Model Masters and just paint around the edges where the gray section of the leather is exposed, just so it unifies that nice black leather texture right there. And there you have it, geeks. All in all, in terms of labor, this took a couple of hours to do. The most waiting was the 24-hour cure period of the Sicker Flex on the Velcroed areas. So guys, I hope you can take something from this video. If you do want to customize your Prime1 Batfleck belt, please go for it. It's a very fun process and it just really makes this statue pop. Guys, I hope you're having a fantastic week wherever you are in the world. I'm hopefully going to have a Pirate Batman 2.0 update later this week, as my shoulder and bicep armor should be arriving in the next couple of days. So with that being said, guys, hope you're well, hope you're happy, be merry, be silly, and until next time, geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best.